crew is Wayne Newman, Dan Newman, and Jessica Newman. They're not kin to me, but...
Well, this is where it all began. This was our first home. Began in March the 9th, 1963. There was a house that sat right here. It was a one-bedroom, wasn't it? A one-bedroom house. We fixed it up. We rented. There was 10 acres with this. And the house sat here. We had a hog pen in the back. We had some hogs. And so this was our first house. Our first home began right here. The house is not here any longer, but this is where it all began. And we're just about 3 miles from Anson, and only about 5 miles on to Pat's mother and daddy's house. They came into the highway right on the other side of those little mesquite trees right by that line. Our bedroom was on the other side of the house, and we'd look out the bedroom. They used to have drag races on Friday night. We'd watch the young boys drag race through here. And then one night, or one day, there was a guy came, or somebody in the car, and shot one of our pigs out, shot it with a .22, just from the dirt road. And then also one night there we had some poles laying out there, and we called the sheriff's department. There's people who were loading them up, cutting them up during the middle of the night, and they didn't get out here. Come to find out they stole a bunch of poles through here. So that seems like in a way a long time ago, but yet it don't seem that long either. But I was farming at the time. We were very happy. My mother was still living in town, wasn't but about 2 miles to her house, and only about 5 miles to her mother and daddy, so it made it real nice being here close to them. But there were some happy days right here. Well, this is where I began. The house used to sit right here. I was born February the 3rd, 1943. I was born in the hospital in Stanford, but this is where I came home. It used to be a house set right here. It's amazing seeing this cotton patch here. It used to be life all around here. We had the house that sat right here. Then we had a barn that sat back over here. We had chicken houses in the back. Mother always liked chickens. I guess that's where I get that in my blood. She always raised chickens. And there was a big barn. And I guess for my size, I thought that was the biggest barn in this world. But it was a big barn. We used to have a lot of pigeons. And then behind it was pasture. And that's where I've killed many Indians, cowboys. I played out there. There was a creek that ran through it. Come to find out as I got older, that pasture was only 5 acres of mesquite trees, and I would have thought there was 100 acres out there. But I'd played many hours out there in the pasture. Then when it would rain in the summer, the creek would get up with water and we'd go play in it. It'd be old red. And I got a spanking one time in particular. The mother told us not to get in the water, but Lon Edward, my nephew, who's 2 years older, she said we could go ahead and swim in her underwear. And I remember her coming out and spanking me out there. There was a bridge. It was a wooden bridge that was over here on the creek with it. It was made out of all wood. It had like railroad ties to hold it up inside, and you'd go through there like a tunnel, and I played in there. It sat back right over here. And I'd walk this road and catch the school bus and back up this way. I lived here till I was in 1950, I guess it was. And when we moved over to the other house, which I'll show later, I cried because I didn't want to leave here. I was hurt because there'd been many hours playing here. We raised cotton across the road here, and I hoed my first cotton. I remember hoeing, we'd put the water jug there at the end of the row, and I can remember hoeing cotton and seeing that water jug from a distance seemed like a mile away, thirsty, and waiting to get to go and get a drink of water. Saturdays, about the only time we'd go to town. We're only 6 miles. You may can see in the film, you can see the tower way back in the background. I don't know if you can. It was only 6 miles from town, but we always thought we lived way out of town. And we'd go into town on Saturdays, especially go to the picture show. And they had 2 picture shows in town then. And I usually go and I remember going to the show barefooted a lot of times. There's been some great days out here. My daddy was the foreman. Not at that time when I was born. It was his daddy, which is my granddaddy, was a foreman. And the But there's 5,700 acres of the Phillips farm is known. And my granddaddy was the foreman at that time. Then when he died, my daddy became the foreman, and that's why we moved over to that house. But many generations. We used to have a horse named Paint. All of the kids had an old Paint we rode. I used to ride that horse many, many times up down this road. And I'd go over to my cousin's house, C.A. Baucum's. He had a son just a year younger than me. We'd play sometime. And I rode that horse all over this place, old Paint. But it looks funny now. It's amazing how there's no life here, there's nothing here. On past around, there were what we call the twin houses. There was just a little further on around the curve, and that's where they call them twin houses because there were two houses there. And Lon, my oldest brother, one time lived in one of them. There was a road that went back up, and that's where we call the pasture. They call it the nigger pasture. I don't know where he got the name nigger pasture, but it was known as the nigger pasture, and we had cattle and stuff up there. I don't know if you can see in the background far, that was called the Skin Out Mountains. And boy, we thought they were big mountains. Now they don't even look like hardly anything, but that's known as the Skin Out Mountains, way back in the background. We'll see them a little bit closer over at the other house in a little bit. But there's some great time spent right here. I don't know sure what month it was, 1950. We moved to this house. This was then known as the headquarters for the foreman of the Phillips farm. My dad was the foreman of it. So we moved in this house in 1950. There was a great big old cottonwood tree right here that my granddaddy had just cut off of another cottonwood tree, just a limb, and stuck it in the ground and it grew, and it was huge. And that cottonwood tree was right there. We put this porch on after we moved here. And I thought this was a big house then. I had my own bedroom, and we were really uptown at that time. This was the garage. There's a cellar underneath this old house here. This was a garage at the time, but we had it changed into, Mother fixed it into a bunkhouse, or kind of a playhouse. And we had Christmas one year, put the Christmas tree out there. Had Christmas there. One of the things I remember the most when we first moved here, there was no Bermuda grass. And Mother put Bermuda grass in, and we've carried sand. We've carried many loads of sand from over here and put out here. And I can remember the first lawnmower we got that was run by gasoline. And I can remember that was really uptown, because I usually had to help keep the grass. But Mother was pretty proud of her yard at that time, because it looks terrible now. But she really kept a beautiful yard, and we had to keep it fertilized and worked on all the time. But this is where I lived here until I was 16. My dad, the Highway 180, he just came off of. He died just right up on the road. You can't see it because of all the weeds and things, but he died right up there suddenly of a heart attack. Never been sick in his life. Then this barn, because Jim, my brother, owns this now. He built this barn. Let's walk out in here. Many hours were spent back out here. It's kind of muddy here. You might have to go a little back. This was the old well house, and we had to pull it. It'd always break down. I can remember having to pull it. If it got stuck, we'd have to prime it. We'd pull the well. It was jiffy water, man. It was it was bad jiffy water. The barn, but this wasn't here at that time. You see the barns falling over. There were two barns that had an amateur. You go. Our corrals was out here. This is where we had milk cows and things. That's where I'd come and I played many hours out here. That's where I'd sit on the fence. Our cattle would stay back in the back, and the milk cows would have to come